Hello, fellow movie buffs, movie aficionados, or someone that just stumbled onto this podcast. It's me just coming in the beginning of this episode with a couple editor notes again. So in the last episode, I mentioned Jordana Brewster. She's Brazilian. I don't know if that would be considered Hispanic. Probably not, because it's not Spanish, it's Portuguese, but just wanted to throw that out there. I also said DJ from Family Matters, but I meant to say DJ from Full House. But when you listen to the podcast, you'll know what I'm talking about. I think also Laura from Family Matters had also a storyline that was similar. I also mentioned Star Wars was 60 years ago. It's closer to 50. And I confirmed in watching an interview with the guy who plays Smalls. His name is Patrick. I forgot his last name, but he was on the Rich Eisen show. And he was talking about the movie, and they filmed it all in Utah, but it was meant to look like that's the San Fernando Valley. And the reason they didn't do it in the San Fernando Valley is because he mentioned that if you know anything about LA or the San Fernando Valley, it's full of high-rise buildings now, especially Burbank and Glendale. So they obviously couldn't do that because it was supposed to be set in the 60s. So that was actually confirmed. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say before the start of the podcast. And thank you so much, guys, for listening. And I hope you enjoy this episode with my sister, Bree. I had to check when it comes in. I ordered it. I ordered the DVD. Hopefully you guys still have a DVD player, because
What?
you can't find it. And you can't.
Has a DVD player.
You can't find
not
it. You can't find it anywhere. It's not streaming. It's not on anything. Like,
I don't have a DVD player, sir.
I have a auxiliary connection.
What are you talking about?
It's on VHS.
You were just wondering if I had Amazon Prime, and now you want me to have a DVD
Well,
player?
if you have Amazon Prime, you can order a DVD player.
And do what with it?
I don't know, watch DVD. You don't own any DVDs?
No, I own 0 DVDs.
I own like 70. But anyways, hello once again, and welcome back, everybody, to I Forced My Friends to Watch a Movie podcast. I think that we might change the name of the show to that. A movie podcast where I force my family and friends to watch a movie. I strap them down to a chair and open their eyes like a Clockwork Orange style, and just like,
Instead of waterboarding, it's like movie boarding.
that should be the name of the podcast, movie boarding.
I know, because it's called nostalgia. It has nostalgia in there, but we've never seen these movies, so how
You
can it be
haven't, but
nostalgic?
for me, it's nostalgic.
Have you seen this movie that we're going to watch today?
Yeah, okay, so we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Sorry.
All right. And I do have 3 people locked in my basement that they're currently watching movies. And I told them, don't watch anything unless it's for content. And of course, you already heard her voice. She is the very first reoccurring guest, guys. It's my sister from the same Mr. My sis from the same Miss, Breh.
Brah.
Bree, I'm using her professional name.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, you totally didn't in that episode with Mom.
Well, I don't know. It feels weird calling you Bree to Mom when she doesn't.
She calls me Bree?
I don't think she does. I think she calls you Brenda.
Oh, that's right.
Dad calls you Bree.
Well, she calls me Brenda.
Dad calls you Bree. How's the weather in Texas? Is it still hot as heck?
Oh man, it stopped being hot as heck like over a week ago.
Nice.
It's amazing. Well, right now it's a little bit hotter. You could obviously, listener, you can tell our age. We're discussing the weather.
Yeah, I mean that's I love discussing the weather. I don't care what anybody says. You did mention something that we are doing differently in this one, is that we are deviating from the premise of this podcast. I can't stop thinking about movie waterboarding. Movie boarding. That's such a good name. I might have to change
You're welcome.
it. I might have to change
You're welcome.
I might have to rebrand.
You will be the Guantanamo Bay of
I am the Guantanamo Bay of movies. Which is kind of appropriate for this movie. We're deviating from the path, and it's because you and I have not seen this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know if I told you what we were watching, so it still is a mystery to you.
It's all a mystery.
I did suggest 2 movies, and you said let's go with the dark comedy instead of the serious drama. Spoiler alert: the drama I wanted to show you was Fences, which I have seen. So it's a movie that's based on a play, and it stars Denzel Washington and Viola Davis.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Okay, you have seen that one.
Yeah,
So
I've seen that one.
That one's a tough watch.
Oh, that one's a great watch. I don't know. I thought you were going somewhere else, and I was like, I can't handle it.
I did The Sandlot yesterday with somebody.
Oh,
And the whole reason we're doing that and I
there's
did it.
someone out there that's never seen The Sandlot.
He only saw it when he was a kid, and he's like in his 20s now, or early 20s. But
Yeah.
because James Earl Jones passed away 2 days ago, I was like, I want to do some movies of
Yeah.
him. Being that I know for you, like Star Wars was like a big part of our childhood,
Oh
and
my
then
gosh, yeah.
the Lion King and stuff like that. So he was like a main part, like basically one of the voices of our childhoods. So
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to do this, and he does come out in The Sandlot towards
You
the
want to
end.
know something?
Yeah,
I seriously, really, when Darth Vader took off his mask, spoiler alert, if there's someone out there that actually has not seen
yeah,
Star Wars, I really expected to see James Earl Jones, and I was so confused.
yeah. Whereas there's this British white man.
I was like, what? And his voice doesn't even sound the same.
Yeah, it's like what is going on
What
with
is
that?
happening?
But so there's a little bit of backstory. The guy that actually was in the suit, not him, or it might have been him, but the one that did it for most of the movies was like 6'6", and he could fit inside the suit. So in the first movie, they just dubbed James Earl Jones's voice, and I think in the first two movies he was uncredited, and it wasn't until Return of the Jedi that he was credited with the
voice?
voice. Yeah,
So he always just did the voice. He
he
was
always
never
he was never in the, because I think James Earl Jones was only like 6'2", but I mean only 6'2", that's pretty tall, but
only.
only 6'2", but the
Oh,
other
what
guy
a
was like
shorty.
6'6". Yeah,
I was thinking, find someone that has never seen Star Wars movie. That would be the most
yeah.
amazing thing.
Quick editor's note. We recorded this over Zoom. Brenda's on Zoom, so that's why the audio sounds sometimes a little funky, but it's not too bad. And sometimes there's a delay. Okay, bye.
Yeah. I missed an opportunity because the guest that I had on for The Sandlot, he said like, "Oh, I showed my sister the Star Wars movies recently. They saw them in the order that they came out."
Oh, okay.
And so he was like, I know the first one might be a little boring for you, but just
Bear with me.
bear with us." Yeah. And she didn't know about the plot twist in
What?
Empire. She didn't know about it. So when she saw it, he said she was like, "What is going on?" Like and after that she was like hooked.
Hooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
Wow.
talking about James Earl Jones, did you know the plot twist before you saw the movie when we were kids?
Man, I feel like I can't remember
I
because
can't either.
I don't recall a time in my life where I didn't know about
Star Wars. Yeah.
even though it came out way before I was born.
The last one came out, Brenda, when you were 2.
How dare you? Exactly. I wouldn't have known. But no.
Your husband
obviously,
was
I do-
alive for 2 of them, so,
Hey, and he didn't watch him until he was like 20. or
until he
something,
got married with you.
until he married me, I think. Poor kid.
He didn't even listen
no.
to the Beatles until you got
He
married.
didn't.
Uh,
Oh,
poor
bless
guy.
his heart.
Bless your heart.
I
So
am in Texas.
not to put, this person on a pedestal, because, we don't idolize anybody or people, but it really did get to me when I found out that James Earl Jones passed away.
Oh,
That's only ever happened to me and I feel like that's a lot, with 4 other celebrities. Now, obviously, the death of a loved one is way worse. You and I have both experienced that, but I think, I don't know, for some reason, it's just because like Star Wars is my favorite franchise of all times, as most people's is. Lion King is one of it's not even just my favorite animated movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Mhm.
And like I was mentioning with Viola Davis and Denzel Washington in that movie, Fences, I saw a clip after he passed away of his performance in Fences in the Broadway show.
Mhm.
And it's just like, oh, you see actors in movies and you're like, these people that win Academy Awards or whatever, and you're like, oh, they're good. But then you see someone like him or someone like Denzel, someone like Daniel Day-Lewis, and you're like, oh, these are actors. Like it's not like someone like The Rock that just fell into it. Like And then that kind of happened yesterday when we were watching The Sandlot, and you're just like, oh, this guy it's like this is his craft, and the fact that he does that not only on the screen but also like with his voice, like his voice is so iconic.
Right.
But so like that's why I felt like I wanted to do this. So we're gonna watch a movie that we haven't seen before, and the name of the movie is Dr. Strangelove. Have you heard it?
No.
Okay. So
Sounds like a James Bond movie.
I think that's where James Bond might have gotten like Dr. No and whatever, all the Dr. Doom. No. So it's called Dr. Strangelove for short, but it's actually Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. So it's a satirical comedy, and it's like Stanley Kubrick movie.
Okay.
Which Stanley Kubrick is not known for his comedy. So he's the one that did The Shining. He's the one that did A Space Odyssey, Eyes Wide Shut.
No, I was gonna say Eyes Wide Shut, I think.
And he did half of AI.
Really?
Spielberg did the other because he passed away before he was able to finish it.
Oh, also news to me.
Have you seen AI? That's a great movie.
Yeah, the one with Will Smith.
That's iRobot. AI is the one with AI is the one with Jude Law and Haley Joel Osment when Haley Joel Osment's a boy robot. Nope. William Hurt.
Nope.
I mean, not William Hurt. Is it William Hurt?
Nope.
No, not William Hurt.
I don't think so.
So, also, this is the film debut of James Earl Jones. This is his first ever movie.
Oh.
So he had done Broadway stuff, The Great White Hope, and like we said, Fences. But this is his debut. It also stars Peter Sellers. He's the main character. So you might have heard that name before, Peter Sellers, Inspector Clouseau, and man, these mouth sounds are so loud. He's doing an Adam Sandler, Eddie Murphy thing where he's playing like multiple roles in the movie.
Clouseau.
No, not Peter Sellers. He's not playing Clouseau.
Well, yeah. No, I was saying that.
Peter
guy.
Sellers. Yeah, that'd be funny if Clouseau just comes in for no reason. So this movie is just a small synopsis of the movie. So it's loosely based on the book Red Alert by Peter George, and this book is basically a satirical view of the. Okay, so let me read it from it. A paranoid U.S. general initiates a nuclear attack on the Soviet Union without authorization, sparking a frantic effort by the president and his advisors to avert catastrophe. Meanwhile, the eccentric Dr. Strangelove proposes bizarre solutions as a B-52 bomber closes in on its target, threatening the doomsday scenario. So the hilarity ensues within that scenario of the nuclear war. So this book was a serious book when it came out, Red Alert, but Stanley Kubrick wanted to change it to a satirical comedy. So it's kind of loosely based on the book.
Okay.
So you've never heard of this book? Never heard of this movie?
Never heard of the book, never heard of the movie. Never.
All right, so I guess we're gonna waterboard ourselves.
Yeah.
Don't know how that will work. Like how does waterboarding work?
We would need a third person to do it.
Okay.
Since both you and I are in the same boat.
By the way, I really love that title.
Well, you're welcome.
Movie waterboarding. Is it too late? It's only 3 episodes in. I can rebrand, and I didn't create like another channel or anything on
Yeah,
YouTube.
you can totally rebrand.
Yeah. Okay.
Movie boarding. You want it to be movie waterboarding or movie boarding?
Movie boarding.
Okay. Movie
Right.
boarding with family and friends.
Should I leave the family and friends in? Should I just cut that out?
Man, ask AI. He comes up with some great names.
Yeah. Well, I did, and they came up with like watching movies with the homies. All right, Brittany, you ready to slaughter this pig?
Let's do it.
All right, then. We'll come back after the movie. This has been Movie Boarding with Brian Martinez. Oh, no, I said my last name. Who cares? Whatever. Everybody knows my last name anyways. All right. All right, so we are back. We finished watching this absolute hilarious movie. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if you feel the same,
Yeah.
Brenda.
I did. I just really didn't think Stanley Kubrick had it in him to create a
Right,
comedy like
comedies.
this.
Considering all his other movies are very dark.
I mean, you definitely can tell. Well, no, I think if I watched this and I didn't see the credits, I wouldn't have guessed it. But
Mhm.
knowing it, it's like, okay, I definitely see Stanley. I definitely see him in
Yeah,
there.
you can see how this movie was so well made.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
One of the funny things well, actually, one of the things you kind of notice, and you see it and reading a little bit about this movie, that Peter Sellers was giving
Mhm.
kind of free range as far as like improvising some of the scenes, and
Yeah.
he is so hilarious. Uh,
Yeah.
he is, especially, like so towards the end, the Nazi scientist comes in,
Mhm.
and I'm like, oh, when is this guy going to come into play? Because I heard about him and I'd seen some of the clips of it, especially when when he's talking about the plan and he's like trying to like not give the Nazi salute. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so in the beginning, he's only in there, like not in the beginning. He comes in like, I think the last third of the movie, that particular
Yeah.
character, the Nazi scientist, Strangelove,
Doctor
which
Strangelove.
Dr. Strangelove, and the whole movie's named after him, but he doesn't come in
Hmm.
until like the last third. So his
Yeah.
first appearance is only what, 5 minutes, I think.
Yeah. I was wondering, I was
Mm-hmm.
like pretty close to the end. I was like, what does this have to do with Dr. Strangelove?
Strangelove.
Like, where is he at?
And then the last 10 minutes is just him. And I was on board 100% with him as Dr. Strangelove. All the things that he was saying, and just like you could tell he improvised a lot of those parts because like what's it called? I don't know. There's a name for it, but it's like phantom limb or something where like your limbs kind of take
Hmm.
over. And he was,
Yes.
I guess, remembering like all his time with the Nazis and just like hitting himself, like trying not to do the Nazi salute, which I
And he
thought
kept
was
calling him the President Fuhrer.
he
And he
kept
was like,
calling him
I mean,
Fuhrer.
Mr. President.
Yeah. So this movie is a pretty simple premise. So there's a General Rip. He
Hmm.
enacts these codes in order for his regiment of B-52 bombers, I believe it was 34, to drop bombs on Russia. And then the movie goes from there. He has a guy who's his chief of staff, I believe, or his
Mandrake,
Mandrake,
executive officer or something.
group captain Mandrake.
Mm.
Um, and I thought so that's also Peter Sellers. Mandrake is also Peter Sellers.
Hmm.
Rip, I thought it was very funny to see how this person was very stoic, but also like he would give some one-liners and stuff. And the thing that I like about the movie is it explains basically everything that's happening. But the one thing it never explained is, and they actually even say it in the movie, when they're reading manuscripts or manuscripts of his telephone calls, is why does he keep saying man's natural fluids or something like that, or
Yeah,
bodily fluids?
bodily fluids. He's very concerned about our fluids being contaminated.
And I wrote that down, that he's a conspiracy theorist basically.
He basically loses it.
He loses it, and the whole reason he thinks is that the Russians, they're gonna strike first. So
Hmm.
so instead of the Russians striking first, he's gonna strike first. But he enacts this plan called Plan R, and I like the way that it's explained in the movie when they're in the war room, which has the funniest joke in the entire movie. The other general and the Russian ambassador are fighting, and the president
Hmm.
comes and he's like, "Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room."
I've never seen such behavior
I've
in the
never seen
war
such
room.
behavior in the war room. So then it cuts to the war room. The government finds out about this, and one of the other generals, the American, is Turgidson.
Ferguson. I know. I kept thinking Turd Ferguson. It's Turgidson.
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 That whole scene where they're having this, when he's introduced, you first see his secretary, and she's on the phone with another general, and they're having this
Mhm.
very important conversation. Or the other general, you don't hear what the other person is saying, but they're basically having this very important conversation through their secretary, which is actually his mistress, and she's like in a
Yeah.
bikini like the whole time.
She's tanning. Did you notice? Like
Oh, I
she
didn't
was
notice
tanning.
that. She's tanning.
She's lying there on the bed, and then when she has to answer the phone, she turns off her little tanning light.
Mhm.
It's hilarious.
And I thought it was really funny. He would be like, you can kind of gauge or guess what the other person is saying,
Mhm.
but it's like, I really need to talk to him, and she's like, hey, he really needs to talk to you, and then it's like he's explaining like the whole
Tell him
situation.
to call me back.
I'm in the powder room or something like that.
Yeah.
So what I found interesting, and like I said, they explained what Plan R is It's basically when they're in the room, the president says, I thought I was the only one that was able to enact these nuclear codes. And he's like,
Yeah.
yes, technically you are, but
Hmm.
the plan R states that if all the higher ups are dead or unable to retaliate, then lower level government personnel or generals or people in the military are able to enact this code R. And it was pretty interesting to see that all the way that they explain it, and they're like, okay, well, what about this? Like they're trying to stop at this point, they're trying to stop General Rip.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, well, what about us doing this? Well, we can't do this because of this. Like, okay, well, what about this? And everything they go through, like they can't enact because this plan that was made, it was made for, a contingency plan, but it also seemed like it would be really easy for somebody to do this and then nobody else to be able to stop it.
Yeah.
We saw this because of James Earl Jones, but he's not even in the movie that much.
He's hardly in the movie. And there was somebody in the war room. He couldn't have been the ambassador, but somebody whose voice, like I would turn away and I would hear it and it sounded like James
James Earl
Earl
Jones.
Jones. But obviously wasn't him. And he didn't have, obviously, this was, I forget what year this movie was made, but he was a young buck. So you don't
It's
really
so weird to see him
hear.
young.
I know. You don't hear that voice that we're all used to very much. There's like small little glimmers of it, but yeah, he's hardly in the film, but still had a pretty a pretty interesting role.
Yeah, you say like I could hear his voice. Like his voice was still for me. Maybe it wasn't at the point of being like a bass or a tenor that it was, but this was his first movie role. He was so fortunate, like him, and then I think another person would be like Lawrence Fishburne, that their first roles were with like Apocalypse Now
Yeah,
for Lawrence Fishburne, and then this guy Dr. Strangelove.
exactly.
They were off and running. This movie was made in the 60s during the height of the Cold War, and you can see like the ineffectualness of all these government leaders on both sides.
The commies, as they kept
The
calling.
Ruskies.
Yeah, the Ruskies. That's right, the Ruskies. I loved. Was he a general or Major Kong? Major Kong.
Yeah, Major Kong.
Major Kong.
King
King
Kong.
Kong. Was he supposed to be like Texan or something? Some kind of a cowboy?
So I don't know if you've heard that actor's name is Slim Pickens.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
That's his real name.
That's his real name. So I always heard that as a phrase of like, oh, that's Slim Pickens. Like what
Yeah.
you like, but it's an actual.
Yeah.
So he was an actual cowboy that turned into an actor.
Oh,
He does a
well,
really
that
good job.
makes sense. It cracked me up. One of the first scenes where they whoever says like they've enacted code R, and anyways he's going back and forth like saying, now verify it, and then he's like, I'm going over there, and he's literally like just right in front of him. He kind of just turns around and he's like, let me see this.
Yeah, and you see so there's basically three different stories taking place, which is the story in the war room, with the cabinets, and then they invite the the Russian ambassador. By the way, the actor who did Turgidson, amazing. Like
Oh yeah,
he is so funny in the movie. And so when they invite the Russian in, he's so upset about everything, and he's like, they're gonna know all the secrets. He keeps referring to like the big board.
yeah.
He's like, that's the one thing that he doesn't want anybody to see is the big board.
And he takes his binder with him and he's like walking around with it, like protecting it.
And then he's like, they're gonna come in, they're gonna like take photos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's when they start fighting. He takes it out. But if you notice at the end, the Russian was actually recording everything. So he was like, his suspicions were confirmed, but at that point, they were focused on something else. So again, back to what I was saying. So there's three stories. There's a story in the war room, there's a story on the B-52s, and then there's the story in the base where General Rip is. And in order for them to stop this nuclear thing from going on, they have to get to General Rip, which he's cut off all communications. This plan basically like cuts every single communication off, and nobody can stop it except that one person that has these codes, which is General Rip. So their plan at that point is to send military personnel into the base to kill everybody off.
Yeah.
But the way he was able to enact the code R is that he basically lied to his people at the base and said that the Russians had already taken over and they were basically invading the United States. And the one person that figures out that this isn't true is the group captain, who he listens to like the radio, and they're still broadcasting
Yeah.
like the regular radio
Yeah.
or something,
Mandrake.
right?
Mhm.
Mandrake.
Yeah, they're playing regular music. And he's saying like, oh, if the Russians had already really taken over or started to attack us, why would we still be broadcasting this music?
They would be like a military broadcast at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
So they send in the military, and they basically tell them before they go in there, there's going to be a lot of casualties because they're going to think you're Russians. And the scene
Yeah.
where they're coming in, these guys are like, wow, look, they got actual trucks. Look at all those uniforms. They're like, they just start shooting them.
Yeah. And who was it? Whoever was the one who was in command of those
Mhm.
officers, because Mandrake tried to, not Mandrake, Turgidson.
Turgidson.
He tried to warn them, and the other guy was like, that's not going to be a problem.
That's not gonna be that's not gonna be a problem for our guys. And they immediately get annihilated. Oh, our precious bodily fluids. So that's the thing that he keeps saying. Our precious bodily fluids. And so much so that they're like, oh, we were still trying to figure out what that means. And the guys are like, I'll tell you what it means. He means he's psychotic, which in essence he really was. But I was thinking before it even happened, I was like, oh, I know. Kind of weird that I thought this, but I was like, oh, I know how he could like ensure that nobody gets the codes. And it was exactly what he did. So like at one scene, it kind of leads you on to believe that Mandrake is kind of getting through to General Rip and trying to like ease him into giving him the codes and stuff. And then Rip goes into the washroom, and then everything he's doing, he's just like, oh yes, sir, before you like, and then by the way, Mandrake is British. She's like, yes, sir, before you go into the washroom, like, you know, before you give me the codes, you can wash up and everything. And then you just hear a gunshot.
Boom. Yeah.
And I was thinking like, oh, that's the one way that he could stop from giving him the codes. And at that point, you're like, everything that they could have gone wrong goes wrong.
It's hopeless.
It's hopeless at that point.
But Mandrake gets them. There was a notebook, and because Rip kept saying about our precious fluids, and then he also used essence, but I forget what it was.
Essence
was it
of peace
personal?
or something? Or
essence of peace. And he had scribbled all this on a notebook and with different variations. And so that's why he was like, it's either OPE or POE. And
the way I like the comedy is it's so dry, which I think how most dark comedies are. But the scene when those army is attacking the base, and it says pieces are what does it say? Pieces are purpose or something like that.
Yeah, pieces are purpose. I like to on the bombs, it said hi there, and the other one said dear John.
So at this point, they're basically they get the codes, and we're gonna jump like back and forth, but it was another kind of like, oh gosh, moment where like everything that can go wrong does go wrong. So they basically tell the Russians, hey, help us out in stopping these. But basically what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to shoot down their own men, these 34 B-2 bombers. They get 4. So they think they get 4, but they actually only get 3. And so then they basically, and talking to the Russian president, the ambassador says that he's enacted like the doomsday device, which is basically just going to kill everybody. And I don't know if this was just the thoughts of a drunken man, because earlier when they have that whole phone call with the Russian president in the beginning, I could tell it was 100% all Peter Sellers, just like saying lines, because he's like, well, one, the president is, they think he's drunk, the Russian president. And then apparently like they were kind of like friends or something. That's how they made it seem in the phone call. And he's right.
They're friends.
And he's
they're total buds.
They're total buds.
Hey,
and then he's like, hey, it's
going?
not just a social call. I really want,
Yeah.
like right now it is, but I'll call you later.
Yeah.
But so with that doomsday device, it's going to kill everybody. They get upset at the Russian ambassador, and he's like, why did you guys, think about this? And he's like, oh, because of something we read in a New York Times article. That was the whole reason that they decided to start this. At that point, they're introduced to Dr. Strangelove, but I don't know if you've heard of Operation, I believe it's Paperclip. Operation Paperclip. So this is basically after World War II, the U.S., and this is 100% true. It's not like a conspiracy theory, like a conspiracy theory with the fluoride, but that the U.S. started recruiting, or basically recruiting Nazi scientists into the government after World War II, and that's basically how the U.S. won the space race. So like a lot of the scientists at NASA were ex-Nazis.
Yeah. I feel like there was something else that I watched. It'll come to me.
And then the funny scene also too, where is it Mandrake? So they finally get to they finally get inside the base, and then there's a colonel, and that's also the other thing that's never explained. Do you remember the colonel's name?
Oh yeah, it's Bat Guano.
Bat Guano. And it's funny because Mandrake even acknowledges the absurdity of it. He's like, okay, Colonel Bat Guano, if that is your name.
If that's even your name.
That's even your name. And then the joke where he says, if it's not true that if you can't get through to the president, you're going to have to answer not only to me, but also to the Coca-Cola Corporation.
Yeah. And the operator that won't put him through, they won't take a collect call.
They won't take a collect call to the president.
But she's like, well, I mean, I'm assuming she's saying on the other end, I could do this, but this is how much it's going to cost.
He doesn't have enough money.
I still don't have enough change.
He's trying to call through all. So that was the other thing. Like everything that can go wrong does go wrong. Is that he's like, okay, I think I got the code. So he's trying to make an outside call, but his direct line isn't working. Then he picks up the other phone and it's damaged. And so he finally goes to the payphone and he doesn't have enough money.
Yeah.
And he tells the guy, hey, shoot out the Coke. And he's like, that's private property. And he's like, don't you know what's at stake, man?
We're all going to die.
This movie was just little bits of jokes. And I really, really liked this movie. I'm surprised that I haven't seen it sooner. Being that such a, you never heard of it. You haven't heard of it, but for a lot of movie buffs, like myself, it's one of those standards as far as dark comedies. And like you said, Stanley Kubrick, who would have thought that he had the chops to do something like this?
So you're gonna buy the DVD now?
All right. Well, look, I was a big proponent even before any of this that I needed to have the hard copy of everything. So then the reason towards the end, the reason that they think that's 4 bombers that they shot down, because they did actually shoot one, but it only damaged it. And they can't stop it completely. Now, here's the thing that I didn't understand, and even after I rewound it, because that's what you do with DVDs, you rewind it.
Yeah.
And VHS tapes. They didn't have enough fuel to get to the Doomsday device, because at this point they had targets, right? And one of them was where the Doomsday device was.
Right.
So even if they didn't activate it, they were going to bomb it and it was still going to explode. Yeah. So I didn't understand. They said something like, we don't have enough fuel to get to that one. We're going to go to their secondary target. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah. So he started somebody on this jet.
This bomber.
He was calculating how much fuel was left, and he was like, we're not going to make it. And so Pong, he's going to complete his mission no matter what. So he's the one who said, okay, get me to the closest target. And that's why they ended up going.
So they avoided, I guess, in essence, a nuclear apocalypse, but they still detonated a bomb.
Right.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. But, and also, too, that it's kind of a theme that, you kind of don't want to get to that point, because if you can, there's so many things against you. So they were trying to release the bomb, and, I think it was 4 or 5 fail-safes didn't work.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And so finally he was like, I'll have to do it myself. And that scene is very iconic I don't know if you've ever seen that scene where
never.
Oh my gosh, Brenda, where have you been living? That he's riding the bomb like a rodeo.
Yeah.
Like a rodeo clown. Also the War Room, the way that it's designed is also iconic, and it's in like a bunch of movies. It's also
Mhm.
even in like a bunch of music videos. One comes to mind is the music video for Muse's Time Is Running Out.
Oh yeah.
And Austin Powers, I don't know if you remember Austin
Yeah.
Powers.
Yeah.
So like that whole thing is,
Yeah, that's
so even if you haven't seen the actual like you've seen it before in movies. So is this a movie that you're gonna recommend to your homies, Bree?
I'm gonna give it a
How many waterboarding? How many
I was gonna say
bombs? How many bombs? Nuclear bombs out of 5?
how many nuclear bombs out of 5? I'm gonna say a 5. 5 out of 5 for
5 out
sure.
of 5. I think I'm gonna give it a 4 waterboards. 5 waterboards.
Movie boards.
Movie boards. 5 movie boards. I can't say waterboarding because I'll probably get banned on YouTube.
You're gonna get canceled. Movie boards.
Movie boards.
Side note,
Yeah.
I had the craziest deja vu as I was watching this movie. And it's weird because I'm not currently in my home. I'm in someone else's home.
Okay.
And I got up, and as I'm turning back around, I'm trying to keep my eyes on what I'm watching, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I've totally seen this scene. I've done this very same thing." It was the craziest deja vu ever
A deja vu for a movie that you've never seen.
that I've never seen. Definitely never seen here.
Do you think it's something your husband would like? I know John's very particular about movies.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
You know what I do? Is John the type of person? I think he is, that like asks a lot of questions during the movies.
Oh, if he knows you watched it, he's gonna be like, "Okay, so what's happening?" It's like the first scene, and you're like,
Just start.
"Oh no," he'll say like, "So who's this?" I don't know, man. This is my first time watching it. Like, I don't know. I think he would appreciate the intelligence behind it.
Yeah.
I don't know that like dark humor is really his thing.
If this was a romantic comedy, I think he'd love it.
Oh, if this was a rom-com, he'd be all over it. Yeah. So
it's really cool to see like the parallels and the satire behind it, because I mean during that time there was the Red Scare, the Communist Panic, and the McCarthyisms and stuff like that.
Which is, I think, what really gets to Rip.
Yeah.
It's just that
insanity, that paranoia, which is it's kind of something that you, not to get political, but it's something you just see repeating itself.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
And over.
The redcoats, which was funny because Rip was like, the redcoats are coming, and I'm like, that's the British, bro. It's not the Soviets. He was having flashbacks to something that he never lived through.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Brenda. Thank you so much. Anything else you want to say about the movie? And there's bugs.
No. Gross. No. Loved it. Yeah, I'm gonna try to show it to my husband and see what happens.
Do you have Amazon Prime?
Wow. Here we go again.
I'm just saying, I know that you're struggling right now.
All right.
So.
Well, not all of us have DVD players like you. So
I actually do. I have a DVD player. No, I don't. I have a PS5, so that has a DVD player.
Oh, I have one of those, I think. I mean, not a PS5. It's probably like a PS1.
There's several movies I actually had to like put it on a list. I mean, I put all the movies on a list, and then I was like, okay, like,
interesting.
Where can I find these? And most of them are everywhere, except for like maybe 3 or 4 that I couldn't find anywhere. So that's one of them.
Wow.
All right, Brandon.
Excellent.
I will see you when I see you. Probably the next time I will see you is when I go to San Antonio and do one for your husband. Because for that one, I want to be in person. Just
so it's excellent.
Because it's his first time. It's his first time. He's a little baby. He's never been on a podcast.
He really has never been on a podcast.
And like everybody has a podcast.
Pretty much. So that's bizarre.
All right, then, Bree, say hi to John.
All right. Thanks again.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Love you.
First thing that comes to mind when I think of James Earl Jones is that commanding voice that he has, which made him the perfect voice for Darth Vader or Mufasa, even the King of Zamunda. It's quite saddening to have such an iconic character that was always a part of my life because he was always inflicting the fear that he demands as the Sith Lord. And then as the years pass, it's always his voice that, I've always tried to imitate as if I had life support apparatus and then telling Luke that I was his father. So I don't think he would have been as intimidating if anyone else would have performed his voiceover. So I'll always have good memories of his voice work that will continue to be the voice that I wish I had. His or Jeremy Irons. Amazing voices, the both of them.